Hello all you music buffs out there. Welcome to the lesson about the families of the orchestra. The orchestra is a wonderful group of musicians that play together to create beautiful music for us to listen to. It's usually divided into 4 families of instruments: the strings, the woodwinds, the brass, and the percussion. The first family we're going to look at is the string family. The string family comes in a variety of sizes, and the main thing to remember about that family is that all the instruments have strings. Those sizes help to determine if the pitch will be high or low. The bigger the instrument, the lower it plays. The smaller the instrument, the higher it plays. I like to think about the string family like a regular family. The violin, which is the smallest, would be like the baby of the family or the youngest. The viola is just a little bit bigger, so it would be the big sister or the big brother. The cello is bigger than that, so it would be the mom, and the biggest instrument would be the bass, which is the dad. String instruments can be played 2 different ways: by being bowed, which means rubbed on the strings with a bow, or plucked, which means pulling the strings. Wait a minute, stop the music. What about the guitar and the banjo? Actually, those are string instruments, but they don't belong with the orchestra. The next family is the brass family. The brass family is made of long, curled metal tubes. Instruments in this family include the trumpet, French horn, trombone, and tuba. Remember, the bigger an instrument is, the lower it plays. So the tuba, being the biggest instrument, plays the lowest, and the trumpet, which is the smallest, will play the highest. The trombone and the French horn are in between those 2. One other thing to remember about the brass family is that you put the mouthpiece on your lips and buzz your lips to play. Not buzz like a bee, but buzz with your lips pressed tightly together. This is what makes the sound. Brass players change the sound by making their lips tighter or looser. They can also change the sounds by using the valves on the trumpet, French horn, and tuba, and by using the slide on the trombone. The next family we're going to talk about is the woodwind family. The woodwind family all looks similar in that they're long and skinny. They also all have holes in them that have to be covered up in order for the music to be played. The holes are either covered with your fingers, or with your fingers pushing on a key that pushes a pad to cover the hole. The highest and smallest of the woodwind instruments is the piccolo. It's sort of like a baby flute. The flute, which is the more common of the 2, plays very high as well. The clarinet has a wide range of sounds from low all the way to very high. It's played with a reed on a mouthpiece, which goes into the musician's mouth in order for the sound to be made. There are a number of sizes to the clarinet. It can range from very high, which is the smallest, to a contrabass clarinet, which is much longer and plays very low. The oboe looks very much like the clarinet, except for the fact that it has a double reed, which means it doesn't have a mouthpiece, but rather 2 reeds that sit together inside the person's mouth in order to be played. The bassoon also has a double reed, but it's longer, so it plays lower. The final family of the orchestra is the percussion family. This family can be divided into 2 groups: pitched instruments, which means instruments that can change sound, and unpitched instruments, which means instruments that always make the same sound. Don't get me wrong, all instruments can be played louder or softer. What I'm talking about is being able to play high sounds and low sounds. Percussion instruments are played one of 3 ways. They can be struck, which means hit either with your hand, a drumstick, or a mallet. They can be shaken, which a great example would be the tambourine and the maracas seen here. Or they can be scraped. This means something has to rub the instrument in order for it to make sound. The orchestra is made up of many, many musicians playing together. It may seem hard to be able to figure out which instrument goes into which family. If you keep in mind what we learned here, that the string family instruments all have strings, the brass family are all made of long curled up tubes of metal that you buzz your lips to play. The woodwind instruments are all long and skinny. They have holes that need to be covered by using your fingers. And finally, the percussion family. These instruments are either hit, shaken, or scraped in order to make their sound. If you can keep all of that straight, you'll have no problem being able to sort the instruments into the families they belong to.